Reynaxis Solutions.
Hi, I'm Glenn of Reynaxis Solutions. Welcome to my vlog. On this episode of Reynaxis Solutions, I'm going to show you how to change the back color or how to fill each individual cells apart from the other cell based on the value of its cell or from the value of another cell. Okay, for example, we have this sample file, Excel file here in my computer, and I already have a sample data which we can use for this purpose. Let's focus on these three columns here. We have the quantity from the warehouse, which is why I put WH on this column on its header, and 1412 quantity on the BKO, which is just a location, a different location to set apart its quantity from the warehouse. And the other one is TOX, or short for Tokarara location. So each of this column has its own balances. As you can see here, here we have 292, we have 1412 and 2400. The first thing that we would like to know is how to change the back color of this column. For example, like if it's a negative, if it has a negative value, the back color should turn red, or the font should turn red, or if it has a positive value, it should have a green or just a black font, or if it's zero, it's just green. We do that by highlighting the columns, the data in the rows in under one column, and by going through the home menu and clicking on the conditional formatting. Here in this menu, we can already see some of the functions that you can select from. These are readily made for you. For example, we can um, change the formatting by if the value of the cell is, for example, 0, then we can select from here, format, custom format. The fill color will turn green and the font color will turn white. There, as you can see, if the value is 0, it is already assigned as green background. Now, if you want this other rows here to have a red filled background, if it's negative, then we can still add another rule. This is what we call the highlighting rule. So we can check or we can select the less than 0, and we can go ahead and go to this drop down menu here and go to custom format and go to fill tab and select the red background. Once again, go to font tab and select the white for color. Now, if the value is less than 0, as you can see here, then it will execute our custom formatting. There, as you can see, now we have this red background for negative items, and green for 0, and black for the regular quantity. Okay, let's just go ahead and remove those formatting. What if the value of the background of Barocco balance, the BKO balance, we want this to be red if its value is 0 and it has a value or a stock in WH. For example, I am residing in this area and this location, and I wanted to borrow stocks from WH or from the warehouse, but I don't want it to notify me if the warehouse doesn't have enough stocks for me to borrow from, right? So if it has greater than 0 stocks, then this can notify me by changing the background color of the cell into red. Now, this goes the same for tox balance. If I want to borrow from Barocco, then it will also turn red only if it this is already zero, my quantity, if I'm residing at tox, and Barocco balance has greater than zero quantity. So let's start by formatting the column for the BKO balance. We just remove the filter first. Okay, here, the first row is number 5 because the other row from 1 to 4 are header. These are headers. Now we're gonna start adding the format in this cell. We go again to select the first row, and we go to the home menu and conditional formatting. Now instead of selecting the pre-formatted functions, then we can go to the new rule here. Because what we're gonna do is we're gonna be um, evaluating the value from here from a different column and not from its column itself. So we're gonna select the use a formula to determine which cells to format. So here I can assign the letter G, but since we are evaluating two columns, the G columns, the condition should be that has to be greater than 0, and the H column, and our condition for this should be 0 stocks for it to change its background color to red. So we're going to use a function called the end function, and I'm going to type the address or the cell and its row number. So the column letter is G and the row number is 5 is greater than 0, then just put a comma there, and I'm going to type the H column and the row number 5, and the condition is 0. So now that we have our formula, then we can go ahead and click format and go ahead and select the red background for the cell and white color for the font. Oh, sorry. It says that there's no value. Okay, let's put 0. Sorry, I forgot to put 0. Now, if G5 is greater or equal than 0, then yes. Let's go ahead and see if this will work. Okay, as you can see, you don't notice anything, right? Because this is 0 and this is, it has a value. But if we change the value here, for example, the warehouse have 5,000 and this is 0, then yeah, you can see that the background is already changing. Now, assuming that some of the problems that I encounter here is that sometimes the Excel want actually show a 0 value because when it extracts some records from, for example, a database, some of the values are not exactly 0 but is less than 1. For example, 0.001 or 0.02, but it will appear in your cell as 0. For those kind of conditions, you may want to add another condition here on top of your current condition here. As you can see, you can check your rules by going to the conditional formatting and going to manage rules. Here you have an existing formula already. So what you're gonna do is just gonna add another rule here. Go ahead and click the last option again and repeat the same formula and G5 greater or equals to 0. Oh, sorry, greater than 0. Oh, wait. We're gonna have to edit this rule because I applied 0. Sorry for that. Yeah. The G5 should be greater than 0. Yes, that's it. Because what we want to evaluate is if it has a greater than 0 value. So this is it, right? This is the correct value. I'm sorry, the correct formula. So now I'm going to create another rule, which is the and G5 greater than 0, H5 is less than 0, less than 1, but it's not negative. So if it's less than 1, then it will also turn red. So go ahead and go to Format, Fill, Red, select red, go to Font, and change the color to white. Now we have two rules that are applied to our single cell. Let's go ahead and check the value again, 500. See if the value of WH is 500 and this is also greater than 0, then there's no change in the background. But if I put 0 in here, then the background will also change. But if I put 0.1, then the background will also change. 0.012, there you go. Now let's go ahead and do the thing for the other one. Let's just repeat the process. Instead of choosing the G, we're going to evaluate the letter H. So let's go ahead and go to Conditional Formatting, go to Highlight Cell Rules. I'm sorry, don't go there. Go to New Rule and go to the last option. Then type and H5 is greater than 0 and I is equal to 0. That's it, right? Let's go to Format, fill it with red, and font, change the font to white. Okay, let's just double check our formula here again. I want to see if I added the less than. Yeah, less than 1 here. This is correct. This is equal to 0. Okay, that's good. So here, I'm just going to visit the. Yeah, you can revisit your formula by going to Conditional Formatting, Manage Rules, and go to Edit Rules. There you can see your existing formula. So I'm just going to create another rule, which is for the lower than 1, right? And H5 is greater than 0 and I is less than 1. So you can stack multiple format values or multiple rule on a certain cell, and all of them will be executed sequentially. Let's go ahead and fill it with red. There. Let's go ahead and change this one to 600 and make the 0. It didn't apply. Let's go. Maybe I forgot to put the number. If it doesn't work, just go back again and edit the rules. See, go here. What's the problem? A0H5. Oh, here I forgot to put the number. I5. And here too, need to edit it. Don't forget to write the row number, otherwise it will not work. And yeah, another thing is don't press the arrow when you're here because it's gonna automatically, apply the cell address. Okay, there you go. Now it's working, right? If you add 0 here, it won't. If you add 600, it won't. There. Okay, so to copy the formula to the rest of the group, you can click this one and you can click on the cell and click the Format Painter and go ahead and drag all the way down. But if you have like 60,000 or 100,000 of these cells or rows, it's going to be difficult for you, right? So I'm going to teach you a way to easily copy this format to the other rows. Okay, so we're going to do and highlight these two columns here and click on the copy. Click on this cell, the second cell, and press the shift button. Don't release it. Press right press End and press down. There you go. You can see that it highlighted over 32,000 rows. Now I can apply the format by doing that. I mean, if we want to do that, we're just going to right click on the current selection and click on the paste special. Sorry, click on the format and there you go, it's done. So as soon as you're done with that, you can immediately see the changes. You can see here we have red columns here. We can also do some filtering if you want to check on the result set. Let's just select here number by filters and greater than 0. So I just filtered this column to show all the items with 0. I'm sorry, with greater than 0 quantity. And from there you can see that some of the items here needs immediate attention, like these ones. Okay, that's it, guys. I hope that you have liked this video. If you find this video useful, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day, everyone. Goodbye.